You have been downtrodden. You have been abandoned. Now is your time to rise up out of the oppressed, to emerge from the shadows. Ignite the thunder of freedom. Now you fight for yourself, for riches, for honor, for the brotherhood.
Nearly 7 years ago, the best first-person shooter I have ever played released on the PlayStation 3, developed by Super Interactive, and its name was called MAG, otherwise known as Massive Action Game. To this day, even almost 3 years after the shutdown of its servers, I still believe it is one of the best first-person shooters I ever laid my hands on. And these are my top 10 reasons why I believe it is still the best to this day. Let's face it, the biggest party trick that MAG had was its massive 256 player battles. No other game that I can think of off the top of my head got even close to the amount of players that could be in one map at the exact same time. While you never truly felt the full brunt of the 256 players due to the massive sizes of the Domination maps, it truly gave birth to an exclusive experience in a chaotic world where anywhere you turned, a new enemy would pop up. This unique experience truly gave MAG an edge that no other game to this day has been able to accomplish.
Set up defensive positions at
Enemy
the
taking A! The enemy taking B!
You guys ready? Take the guy out of B, take it back, and fall back to the waiting room.
While many other first-person shooters claim to support a teamwork-based playstyle, no other game got as close to official teamwork as MAG did. Aside from its smallest game mode, Suppression, which was essentially just team deathmatch, every other game mode that MAG had to offered unparalleled teamwork, and no amount of one-man army could get you to win. You had to rely on the ingenuity and the help of your teammates to accomplish success, and no other game to this day focuses so much on teamwork to the point where without teamwork the game doesn't feel as enjoyable. MAG truly stood apart from the rest in this category, and it's actually one of the reasons why I played the game all the way until the moment it was shut down. While MAG didn't have an official storyline background for its gameplay, the basis of the entire game was focused around the bitter hate between the three factions that existed: Sever, Raven, and Valor. When you began to play the game, you had to choose from one of these three factions, and until the point where you reached the max level in the game, you could never switch to another faction. In other words, if your friends decided to go to Sever and you stayed in Valor, you could never play with each other unless it was against each other. While this may seem counterintuitive, by splitting the player base into factions that can't interact with each other as teammates and play with each other in teams, this actually fueled the rage and the hate that you had for other factions. You could only rely on your own faction and your own players that you discovered in your faction to fight the other one, and bonuses actually were awarded to factions whenever they defeated the other team. To this day, I still believe that Raven was the best faction. I do not care what you think.
Blow me up, somebody, or I'm gonna shoot you.
I'm
I'm just gonna shoot your name.
While in any other game I would say that team killing is a bad thing, MAG actually took it even a step further by actually decreasing your experience points for every teammate that you killed. So you could essentially, in theory, if you killed enough people, go all the way back down to level 1. One of my best experiences in MAG was one time when my clan decided to just kill each other. So we decided to go into a team deathmatch, into suppression mode, and we just sat there at the spawn point and constantly threw grenades, gas grenades at each other, trying to kill each other non-stop. We did this for about 6 minutes, and during those 6 minutes, the entire opposing team was sitting around our spawn just wondering what the heck was going on in there. And this is actually something very, very funny. We actually enjoyed killing ourselves and actually lost a level or two while doing so. Only MAG could actually have an experience like that and make it a positive thing.
Hell yeah! See what I told you? Every time I apply, I always get it. It's because I'm an old school player, man. I got all those leadership points, you know.
With MAG's massive player counts in game modes, the game needed a leadership structure that would actually work and give everyone a way to get their word out. This is how it went. A squad leader was a squad leader of 8 people. The platoon leader was a leader of 32 people, and then the officer in charge was the leader of the 128 players in Domination game modes. You could only talk to anyone within your squad, but your squad leader could talk to other squad leaders, and those squad leaders could talk to the platoon leader, who in turn could talk to everyone in his platoon. But at the same time, the officer in charge could talk to everyone in the entire team, or he could talk to the platoon leaders only, or he could talk to the platoon leaders and squad leaders as well. So there were various ranks of leadership and various ranks of communication, and they actually make the battle a lot more fluid. This lifelike leadership and communication structure gave the game an edge in which you actually felt like you could trust your leader and you could trust your teammates into carrying out your mission successfully.
Guys, listen up. This is Message Storm. If you evacuate all soldiers, please go to the left-hand bunker. All soldiers, please hit the left-hand bunker. Work from left to right across the bunker. Alrighty.
MAG had a feature in place that let you speak to members of other squad as a regular squad member and even your enemies in place, and this feature was called proximity chat. The way it worked between members of the same team was that even if you were parts of different squads, if you were within close proximity of each other, you could actually hear what each one of you actually said, and you could actually call out to each other for help in times of danger. But where this feature really shined was whenever you killed one of your enemies. This actually made it so where you could actually speak to your enemies while they were bleeding out on the ground before they respawned. You could actually talk to each other, and it made for some very funny examples where, for example, one time I actually played in 2 separate factions with 2 separate accounts, and I actually played in a clan war for 2 clans which I actually belonged to. For the first hour I played for one side, and for the second hour I played for the other side, and as I killed the people from the other team, they were actually the teammates I had just played with the hour before, and I could actually talk trash to them while they were bleeding out in the ground. It was also very amusing whenever you killed someone and they actually raged and you heard them over the microphone. While in other first-person shooters such as Call of Duty, many players actually have access to Killstreak-like abilities, only the leaders in MAG actually did. The game actually even rewarded you as a leader by giving you extra leadership points which you could actually use to increase your leadership rank from squad leader to platoon leader to officer in charge, each one with more powerful abilities than the last. These abilities actually couldn't be spammed at will because they actually had a cooldown, and you actually had to synchronize when you wanted to do your abilities and when you wanted to use your AAA mortar batteries against the enemy team with your squad leaders or platoon leaders. That way the battle flow went in sync. This actually made for very interesting situations in which all the leaders would actually decide to use the powers and their abilities at the exact same time and launch an all-out assault against the enemy team in which they could possibly win all in one sweep flow. While MAG didn't give any single player any killstreak-like rewards for actually being a massive killer and being an asset to the team with having a high KDR, it actually gave them 2 things which I actually think had even more value, and they are killstreak music and popping headshots. You actually had to use your weapon to actually get the 5 kill streaks in a row and get the music going. This actually gave you like a sense of purpose, a sense of, oh yeah, I'm doing just great. The other side of this coin was whenever you actually got headshots against people. It actually made it to where every time you got a headshot, the game actually introduced like a popping noise every single time this happened. The more people you killed, the more the music in the background got even more exciting, allowing you to increase your drive to kill even more players, and then the more headshots you got, the more those popping noises would pop up during that sound, which would increase your drive even more, allowing you to mow down your enemies even further.
The enemy destroyed our sensor array. They have our transport. Destroy it. Air defense has been repaired. They took out the mortar battery.
It isn't surprising that with maps that include up to 128 enemy players, a sniper would actually feel like they're in heaven. But there was another feature of the game that actually added even more sniper goodness to the game, and that was parachuting. As the opposing team, whenever you advanced your position and you took over the front line objectives from the enemy defending team, you actually had the ability to parachute down on the battlefield further down, that way you wouldn't have to walk all the way through to the front lines every time you respawned. This gave the people that love sniping an opportunity to just kill people without any mercy, and for those that were actually very good snipers, they actually racked up some of the highest KDR games that I've ever seen. But while the sniping part was fun, the parachuting part was also fun. It allowed you to get a sense of the entire battlefield and its entire size, and as you fell down, you could see all the action taking place below you, and you could actually kind of control exactly where you landed and land right into the action. And the number one surprising reason for why I believe that MAG was the best first-person shooter to come out in recent years is because of friendship. In a game that forced you into factions in which you could only rely on the people within your faction, and a game that focused so much on teamwork and focused so much on communication and a leadership ladder that actually enabled you to actually trust your teammates and actually have to learn exactly how they played, who they were, and whether you could trust them, it actually developed a lot of friendships for me. To this day, I still speak to a lot of the same people that I actually played MAG with, because you actually had to develop such an intimate relationship and such an intimate trust in the game to actually be able to play well alongside them. If you couldn't trust your people that you were playing with, you couldn't win. That's essentially what it came down to. And actually, that was one of the reasons why I actually liked being part of the Pro Clan. The Pro Clan was actually one of the biggest clans in all of MAG. It was actually a part of the Sever faction, and actually they had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of players. And it was actually one time where we actually made up the entirety of the Domination game. Some of the most fun experiences I ever had in any game ever were experienced with them, and actually to this day I still wish that I could return to those times.
There he is. Got him. Kill him! Kill him! Kill him.
So there you have it. Those are my top 10 reasons for why I believe that MAG was the best first-person shooter ever made. Do you agree with my top 10 reasons? Are there any other points you want to point out? If so, leave me a comment below, and like always, make sure to like and subscribe if you want, and hopefully you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed going back down memory lane. Such a great game, and hopefully Sony does decide to eventually in the future release a MAG 2, or at least a remaster. Thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you later.
TAC 2000 is the latest in assault rifle technology, capable of up to 800 rounds. Training complete. Congratulations, operative.
Join these ranks to uphold the Millennium Accord. Improvise, adapt, overcome.
Time to lock and load, boys. We're fighting with the best now.